wise ones. It's Melissa from 8th House Wisdom. I'm back with another video inspired by the full moon and thinking about the Virgo pull towards self-care, health, and wellness. So what I wanted to talk about today is something called the emotional freedom technique, aka Meridian Tapping, aka tapping. So what the hell is that? I'm going to talk a little bit about it and show you a few things. But to get started, tapping, as I like to refer to it, is a form of acupressure. So many of us know about the power of acupuncture. And in Western society, we've gotten to the point now where insurance will cover appointments with acupuncturists for a wide range of issues, anything from mental health to pain. Acupuncture works on ancient Chinese systems of mapping the bodies. That's what the meridians are. And it relates to Ayurveda because that would be calling it prana. But anything you want to call it, chi, ki, prana, energy. The meridians are the centers of energy in our body. That allow the energy to flow, just like blood flows through our veins. And the theory is if energy gets trapped in those spaces, we can experience pain or emotional difficulty. And through acupuncture, i.e. using needles on those points, they've been able to provide people with relief. Well, plenty of people are not really looking to get touched or pinched by a needle, even if you have tattoos. And so that's where something like tapping can come in for you, because you can utilize those same points and access some of that same healing power, because the acupressure or the light tapping in certain places has a similar effect to the needles. So I know it sounds hella crazy for someone who's never heard of it before. And then there are those of us who are well versed in it. I'm also a licensed psychotherapist. I've been doing work with tapping and around energy healing since probably about 2009. And this may seem like a new and kind of weird idea, but actually this particular format that I use, EFT or tapping as I call it, has been around for about 30 years. And it has a really wide research base, and it actually has been proven to help victims of war crimes and trauma get over that. The U.S. and the Veterans Administration are currently using it, as well as trauma-based therapists are using it for soldiers in PTSD. And it's been effective where medication has not. So, it may seem a little crazy as I demonstrated the idea of tapping on imaginary energy points, but, people will do lots of things for relief. And if it involves looking a little crazy, but could result in me getting rid of a lifetime of trauma, I personally am going to take it. Hence me having worked with it and done continuing education credits, as well as it's something that I do with clients when I'm working with them in a coaching capacity, as well as working with them therapeutically when I'm working as a therapist. So again, tapping allows you to kind of bypass what we know as the fight, flight, and the lesser known freeze system. And that's really part of what we call the parasympathetic nervous system in the body. It's designed to prevent you from being eaten by a tiger or mauled by a bear if you encounter something that your body actually knows is threatening. But what we now know is that day-to-day stress, which you can call little t trauma, and big stressors like losing a house, losing a car, the death of someone, which are big T traumas, all nowadays in this modern society, they trigger that same kind of response in our body. They trigger the response that would be triggered if a bear was chasing us. And I think it's important for everybody to just think about that. Nobody's lying when they say that stress kills. If the fear, adrenaline, and hormones that should be coursing through my veins when a bear is coming to maul me pop up when I experience a huge argument or am constantly re-experiencing like someone berating me or doing things, we have to think about the effect of that, because in nature, you're not going to be chased by bears all the time. Not where we're at now, but in our modern day society, we're always dealing with these kinds of stressors. And even if we're what you call a small T, running late, losing things, things that make you feel embarrassed or negative emotion, those things have cumulative effects as well. So, trauma and that energy is just a really big deal. And so that's one of the reasons why I tap. And I want to talk to you guys about tapping. So essentially, what EFT or tapping has you do is you touch on these points. So I'm going to show you the particular points right now so that you can see what's happening. And I'm going to demonstrate where the points are by doing a little bit of tapping. So the first point that is known, and it's usually where you do what they call a setup statement, is your karate chop point. And so it's right here on the side of your hand where you would think about going hi-ya and karate chopping. You can karate chop like this. You can karate chop this way. You can hit your karate chop point this way, and you're ending up hitting both sides of your body at once. The second point is your eyebrow point. So it's right here. It's not third eye. It's right here at the top of your eyebrow. I'm using 2 fingers, and we're talking lightly tapping. We're not trying to create a sense of pain. The next point is the side of the eye. So it's right here where you can feel that point where your eye socket is. So it's right on the side of that bone. The next point is under your eye. So you tap lightly here. So when you think about where your eye is and your pupil, directly under where your iris is, and you can feel it almost at the top of your cheekbone and where the end of your eye socket is, tapping there. The next point is under your nose. So it's right here, pretty much between the top of the lip, but we're trying to go for something dead center. The next point is your chin, and it's not on your chin, it's actually between your lip and your chin, and so it's right here. The next point is called your collarbone point. So you want to figure out where your collarbone is, and you want to feel like there's a little soft divot place here. And some people have an open hand and tap this way. Some people will use a hand like this, and this is the place, since you actually have 2 of those points, where you could actually tap on both places at the same time. There's another point. If you're a woman, it's pretty much where you find your bra and bra line, but for anybody else, it's under your arm, and you can just use your whole hand and gently slap. Try to make sure you guys can see me. I'm busty, so you may not see all of that. Then the next point is the top of your head. You see my hand's kind of like a claw, and I'm just going to lightly tap at the top of my head. Some people tap around in a circle. And you're trying to go to the center. There are two other areas, because I'll say there's more than one point that I want to show. There's something called the ninth gamut, and that is, if you look at the back of my hand, in between where your ring finger and pinky is, there's a soft little fleshy place where the bones are together, and that right there is a place where you would gently massage. And then the last thing, which allows you to be able to do this kind of tapping thing when someone is fussing at you very discreetly, because doing stuff like this or this is a little more discreet because people definitely put their in, but doing this is not discreet, are your fingertips. So on the outside of your thumb, the outside of your index finger, middle finger, and pinky with your hand this way. Sorry, so we're going here, 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 and here are additional tapping points. So you could be sitting somewhere under a table doing this, and no one would even know that you're doing it. The reason, again, that you would tap on these points are because you want to release. You want to release the stuck energy and stuck chi. And so when a thought comes to your mind that runs through your nervous system or your parasympathetic nervous system and makes you feel, like you have that feeling of dread, and you're like, oh, look where my hand went, right to my chest. It's a perfect time if you're in that space to tap. And you can tap it out. So I wanted to bring that up because right now we're in a time of releasing. The full moon is kicking up a lot of stuff. And tapping is a wonderful way to be able to help you release. I'm going to be back with more videos to talk about the ways in which you apply tapping with what we call a script, where you tap on negative thoughts purposefully, where you bring them up to discharge that energy, and then you tap in the positive thoughts. Yes, please note, when you're saying something negative and you're doing this, you're discharging the energy. You're not tapping it in. But when it's positive, because our bodies are naturally designed to absorb that, it enhances your ability to absorb it because it releases the blocks, as well as it sets your nervous system up to take in the positive information. Our bodies really want to release what's negative. So I'll be back with more videos in the future to talk about tapping scripts and even with some tapping routines. But today, I really just wanted to introduce the idea of tapping, the power that it has, and to make a recommendation as we're seeing the lunar energy kind of trail off, that tapping is a great way for you to revisit a ritual or to address any of the super powerful emotions that are coming up during this super full moon in Virgo. So having said that, sending you all lots of light and love and hopefully some sleep, because the moon has definitely been keeping me up late. I will be back later with more videos. See you soon.